on how live lessons work and how you can join in. First of all, let's talk about the teacher's video box. This is the video box that I'm in and that you're looking at right now. This is where the teacher will share their screen and show you what to do. When the teacher is showing you how to do something, you should make this video box go into full screen by clicking on the full screen icon here. Try it now and this video should get bigger and cover your whole screen. When the lesson starts, you will see all the steps for the lesson appear here. These are the steps you need to follow to create the project, and the teacher will guide you through each of these step by step. Though if you wish to go ahead and follow them yourself, that's no problem. You will normally be working with two tabs, one tab for the instructions and one tab for creating the code and your project. When you have completed a step, come back to the Instructions tab and click on this green Done button. You get an award and learning points for each step you complete. Under the video box, you will see what step the teacher is currently on. Under that, you will see the chat feed. The chat feed shows you how everyone is doing, and you can put your own entries into it by clicking on the blue chat button and entering your question or message. Or you can give a quick thumbs up or down, or even put in emojis by using the green react button. After the teacher has shown you how to do a step, click on the exit full screen button to make the video go back small. Try it now. Okay, that's it for the instructions. We can't wait to see what you create. And remember, you can always come up with your own ideas and add them into your project. If you do want to share your project and your own ideas, you can do that using the purple button at the bottom of the lesson. We often show the best ones at the start of the next class. Okay, today's lesson is going to start in a few minutes, so strap in and get ready to code. Hey everyone, we'll be starting the live lesson shortly, but before we do, let's go over a few instructions on how live lessons work and how you can join in. First of all, let's talk about the teacher's video box. This is the video box that I'm in and that you're looking at right now. This is where the teacher will share their screen and show you what to do. When the teacher is showing you how to do something, you should make this video box go into full screen by clicking on the full screen icon here. Try it now and this video should get bigger and cover your whole screen. When the lesson starts, you will see all the steps for the lesson appear here. These are the steps you need to follow to create the project, and the teacher will guide you through each of these step by step. Though if you wish to go ahead and follow them yourself, that's no problem. You will normally be working with two tabs, one tab for the instructions and one tab for creating the code and your project. When you have completed a step, come back to the Instructions tab and click on this green Done button. You get an award and learning points for each step you complete. Under the video box, you will see what step the teacher is currently on. Under that, you will see the chat feed. The chat feed shows you how everyone is doing, and you can put your own entries into it by clicking on the blue chat button and entering your question or message. Or you can give a quick thumbs up or down, or even put in emojis by using the green react button. After the teacher has shown you how to do a step, click on the exit full screen button to make the video go back small. Try it now. Okay, that's it for the instructions. We can't wait to see what you create. And remember, you can always come up with your own ideas and add them into your project. If you do want to share your project and your own ideas, you can do that using the purple button at the bottom of the lesson. We often show the best ones at the start of the next class. Okay, today's lesson is going to start in a few minutes, so strap in and get ready to code. Hey everyone, we'll be starting the live lesson shortly, but before we do, let's go over a few instructions on how live lessons work and how you can join in. First of all, let's talk about the teacher's video box. This is the video box that I'm in and that you're looking at right now. This is where the teacher will share their screen and show you what to do. When the teacher is showing you how to do something, you should make this video box go into full screen by clicking on the full screen icon here. Try it now and this video should get bigger and cover your whole screen. When the lesson starts, you will see all the steps for the lesson appear here. These are the steps you need to follow to create the project, and the teacher will guide you through each of these step by step. Though if you wish to go ahead and follow them yourself, that's no problem. You will normally be working with two tabs, one tab for the instructions and one tab for creating the code and your project. When you have completed a step, come back to the Instructions tab and click on this green Done button. You get an award and learning points for each step you complete. Under the video box, you will see what step the teacher is currently on. Under that, you will see the chat feed. The chat feed shows you how everyone is doing, and you can put your own entries into it by clicking on the blue chat.
Hey guys, how are we? Welcome back to our live lessons. I know we don't have a huge amount of people on today, actually, just looking at it, but I think this time of year, people do be very busy. People are making plans left, right, and center, so that is to be expected. Fair enough. Today we're working on a lesson called Platform Place. We are going to be working in MakeCode Arcade, so really cool platform, and I have seen people make some incredible games using this platform and using this kind of lesson as a bit of a template to work off. So if you've done this lesson before, or you've done a similar lesson, that's not to say you're not going to get anything out of this, because there is loads you could do now expanding on this. Yeah, so both man sees my background is Sonic. I was thinking with the whole platformer background, with the whole platformer theme for this lesson, that I would tie in my background a bit. So it was either Mario or Sonic, but I feel like Mario is the real. You probably would have expected Mario, so I said I'd try Sonic as a bit of a change. And glad to see you notice that. Hands up if you've seen a Sonic, or if you played a Sonic game or a Mario game. Let me know if you have. I've definitely played Mario games. I don't think I've played any Sonic games. I know the Sonic movies are out and they're really popular, so I don't know. I haven't played them myself, or haven't watched them movies. I'm going to share my screen, guys. If you are new to us, you know how this works. Here's how it's going to go. I'm going to basically read through the lesson and do each step to kind of show you an example of how to complete this lesson. If you want, you can go do it along with me. If you want, you can rush ahead. If you want to ask any questions, ask it in the chat, and I will get to it as soon as possible. And at the end, we do our quiz for everyone who's online live. Obviously, you can play if you're trying to log in after, which I know some people do. So anyway, Real Gamer has played both Mario and Sonic. Here's a question now, Real Gamer. You've played both. Which is better? If you had to pick, if you had to get rid of one, who's getting the boot? Is it Mario or is it Sonic? So today, guys, Mario is better, Buffman says, and he is very passionate. You can see, you can feel the passion off him. So, platform games, often simplified as platformers or jump and run games, are a video game genre of action games in which the goal is to have a player move. Real Gamers, okay, so a lot of love for Mario out there. Where the goal is to have the move the player character between points in the environment, so get from the start line to the end line. Platformers use jumping and climbing to navigate. I think it's just used. I think that Ian is unnecessary there. Platformers use jumping and climbing to navigate the player's environment to reach their goal. So it's a very fancy way to say they jump and they run and they work around to find their goal. So here's a little bit of a screen grab of a game that is a platformer. Some really kind of common things you see in platformers are like these spikes on the floor. You normally have you'll fall down and you'll be dead if you fall off the map. Often there's different levels like up or down and things like that. So really common stuff. You've all probably played some version of this. If you played any Mario games, most of them are platformers. I know they're kind of went 3D then after a while, but so I'm going to show you this. We're going to go through the lesson. This is the lesson we're going to make now. That's the very basic version. If you are more experienced, and you guys are the people I can see who are online, please do fly ahead. You don't need to wait on us. So our first step, guys, is create a new lesson in MakeCode Arcade. So go into MakeCode Arcade and click this link, or you can look it up in your browser. Create new project. I'm going to call mine Platformer. And because I know the few people who are online are a little bit more experienced, I might go a little bit more high spec with everything in this game. So maybe go a little bit beyond the basic game that I'm going to make and hopefully try and make a cooler game that is a bit more fun to play. So open up your MakeCode and create a new project. Our next step is to create a sprite. Now, your sprite does not need to be this smiley face. I think that was just made. You can design your own sprite. And I think it's a good idea to design your own sprite because it adds a little bit more to it. So if you go into that, you could check the gallery and see if anyone suits your game. So if you have like a character like this, it's pretty good. You could have a dog. You could have, I think that's a football player, like an American football player. There's loads to pick from here. I think I might try and design mine to look like a character. And a character that I'm completely making up that you've never seen before. A completely original character. I will call him Barrio. And he is going to look kind of weird because I've used up most of the map here on his head. I'll have to put his shoes in and work up from there. He's maybe not the best proportioned character that's ever been made. However, no, that's not good. His little arms. I can't remember what Barrio's arms look like. No, there is Barrio. He is going to be a type player, which means he is a player in our game. And there he is there. That's actually very good. I think that might be the best bit of art I've ever created in this. Real gamer with a lot of information here. I'm eating, also leaving early. That's grand. So create your sprite. You can look whatever way you want it to. No particular, doesn't need to look like Mario. It can be whatever you want. Or you can use one of the sprites that are already preloaded in it. I'm just going to check how many steps are in this lesson. So it's not that many. Okay, so first step, as a lot of our MakeCode lessons are, the next step is just to use the buttons on the controller to control the character. So left and right. But actually, slightly different to it, we only want to move him left and right this time. So right now, in this, we can go up, down, we can go anywhere we want, which kind of defeats the purpose of this game. If you can just float around the screen, it's not going to make a game very hard because you're not going to have to jump anywhere or do anything like that. So we're going to set that to 0. So he can only move the VX 100. So he can move left and right, but he can't go up and down. And that's an important step because, you know, it'll make the game more difficult and more enjoyable, really. And no one likes a game that's too easy. So it's important to keep it fun for yourself. So that's a point we've added here. We want to see the buttons and we want to make sure that VY is 0. And that's a point I'd say a lot of people would miss doing this lesson. From what I see in lessons, people tend to not read the different steps. They tend to just look and then quickly replicate what they've seen before. But it is always good to have a look around and see, you know, what's the information is coming up on the step. So the next part is we need to add gravity. So game needs gravity, and that basically is going to be in forever. So there's a loop there forever. We actually don't use loops a whole lot in MakeCode Arcade in the lessons we have, because they have a lot of functionality that kind of makes it easier to go without them, but no harm. So we need to set a velocity. Let me just check. Is it VY? Yes, so it's this one here. People always get confused because it says X and it doesn't say velocity or anything, but there's a big long list that comes out of it when you click in. So is it Y? I think VY. Yes, so set my sprite VY to 50. And what will happen is my sprite will fall off the screen. And there he goes. Bye-bye, sprite. So the velocity VY value sets the direction and speed of the sprite. A negative number makes it go upwards and a positive number makes it go downwards. So now the sprite will fall off the screen. So basically it constantly is falling down. And I'm just looking at this now, trying to make improvements to it as I go. rather than calling it my sprite, because I'm going to have a few sprites, I'm going to rename that to Barrio, my completely original character. And now all of these other ones automatically changed, but they mightn't do that automatically. Sometimes you have to go through and select the sprite you have. It's only because I only have one sprite in the game so far. And the reason I'm doing that is because as you do more projects and have more and more sprites involved, it can become harder to manage when they're called sprite 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, because you lose track of who is who. So being able to label them early on just saves you a lot of work down the line trying to figure out what you were talking about. So that's our step 5. Okay. Hope that's all good, guys. I see Buffman is ticking along. Real gamer, I hope you're okay to tick along even though you're eating. I hope you have a free hand just to tick along with the lesson. Or to do the lesson also. Don't just tick along. So next part is a really big one. Cool, man. The next part's a really big one. We need to draw the map. Now, here's an important part, and it's a really important detail of MakeCode Arcade. We are going to, first of all, put in a camera follow my sprite. So that's in scene. We're going to say camera follow my sprite. Is that in forever? I think it is. No, it's on start. Now, look at this. I have an exclamation point telling me there's an error in my code. And the reason there is, and this is a big thing that people always make mistakes on, they go, what's wrong? I've had to put in this code, it's not working. The reason is because this is talking about my sprite, and it's not talking about what I renamed my sprite to, which is Barrio. So you can go click into that little triangle arrow here and click Barrio. And then once it reloads itself, that will not be an issue. And then he looks like he's standing still, but actually the camera's basically following him, falling down. And we need to make our tile map. So this is a big step. It's going to take a few minutes. So go into scene, not the first background image. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for a tile map. And the tile map is the part where we need to get a bit creative. So if you click into that tile map, what you need to do is make it much, much longer. So what we do in this is set it to 32.8. Now, this is on the bottom left-hand side of the screen. You'll see that it says 1616. So if I set 32.8, what will happen is you'll notice when it loads up, you get a much longer map. Now you can make that as long as you want or as tall as you want. And I'm actually going to make mine a little bit taller now. Because I'm going to try and make my game a little bit more intricate. And I'm actually going to go 64 for the length, which is really long. And that's quite a long game because I want to make mine a little bit more interesting. And I have time, so I'm not going to rush myself. Now, what we need is 3 specific tiles. I'm spending so long on my Mario. Good to hear, Buffman. We have time today, so don't rush. It'd be good if you could look up an image of Mario. That would really help you out. I was doing my freehand, and I'm actually very happy with myself. But I'm sure if you had an image of Mario there, it will make it a lot easier. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to look at the 3 different tiles we need. So we need ground tiles. So these are the tiles that your character is able to walk on. So they're safe. We need danger tiles, which are obviously the opposite, fire or, something that if we touch, we die. And we need a goal tile. So that's like the finish line. So let's have a look at what we have available to us. So we have a few options here. We have from the tile gallery, we have forest themes, and inside of that, we have loads of different types. We have aquatic themes, so underwater. Not a whole lot in there. Dungeon, which has loads. So loads of bricks and different types there, kind of cool. And then one called miscellaneous, which just means random other ones, where you get the fire, the lava kind of one. I think for mine, what I'm going to do is go for dungeon. I think they have a nice brick one. So I'm just going to use bricks. I'm going to start my character on the ground. And I'm going to make it so that my character has to jump an awful lot. And with Mario in mind, I just want to be thinking about how to make this as challenging as possible. So think about your Mario games. The maps aren't straightforward. The maps wouldn't be straightforward because that'd be too easy. So you want to include lots of challenges to make it very difficult on your character. But now we haven't talked about how far we can jump yet. You'll have to think about that as well. So maybe don't make it impossible. Because you're the one who has to complete the game at the end of it. So do make it achievable. And then those are my safe tiles. They're okay to stand on. Then I'm gonna have lava for the unsafe tiles. So lava all along the ground. Anywhere I can't stand. And is my next step to add walls. It's not. Okay, there's an important step. Too busy listening to the Opera House by the Olivia Tremor, Janie Mac, Master Economy, got some highbrow hobbies. So what we need here, basically, and this is a step that a lot of people miss, is that we are going to create, actually, I should have done this the first time. I'm going to go back to my dungeon, get my brick. The brick has to be called wall. When you go wall, it gives this like red highlight to it. And everywhere it's safe to stand needs to have that red highlight. That's basically what tells the character in the game that it is safe to stand here. So you need to go through every bit of the land that it's safe to stand on and just give that red highlight to say that it is wall, it is solid. Basically, the game means you can't just float through it like you could with a lot of other pieces. So yeah, we're trying to make it as interesting as possible. You can see they give you a little diagram of it up here, which is pretty cool. And yeah, you just want to make it as cool as possible, as interesting as possible for yourself. I don't have a finish line right now, so I'm gonna have to make some sort of finish line. Let me have a look around and see if there's anything interesting. Here's like a treasure chest. That'd be cool. So you just put that last, and that can be the finish. And actually, they've already titled it for me, which is level 1. So there's a little clue as to what we can do later on to extend it. And when you click done, Barrio will appear on our tile map. Now I have got a little floating piece up here, but it looks really cool. It looks like a video game now. It looks like, I don't know. I don't want Nintendo to come looking for me, but it looks like a very famous video game that you might be familiar with. That I couldn't possibly mention the name of. But my character is called Barrio. He looks like he's having a lot of fun here. So, spoiled rotten, says Master Colin. So make sure you have check where your sprite lands. Make sure he lands on solid ground because you don't need him appearing straight away in lava. And what you can do is you can kind of just edit your tile gallery if you need to. And I'll just wait there for a second because I know you guys will be putting in a lot of effort to your sprite maps. I know how good and detailed people like to get with these. So I don't want to be rushing you guys. Okay. Okay. So we have the kind of setting of a game here, and I have my Barrio, and I can move them back and forth. But right now I could just run through the whole map. There's not much of a game to it. Now I can't jump, so I can't actually get very far. So you can see, you can probably even look at this list, you could make a list of the next few things we need to do. So obviously our character is in the lava right now and it's fine. He's not getting hurt at all. And also he can't jump. So there's 2 immediate things that he needs to do. He needs to be able to jump, and he needs to get like basically burnt by the lava. Both man, you are still making the what's it called, Mario sprite. My God, this is going to be perfect. Fair play to you. That's some dedication. I hope you share it in at the end of this. Now, I'd like to see what all this work has gone into. Okay. I'm gonna have to keep going. But both man, you'll be able to catch up, no problem. Can't wait to see you again. Our next step is that we need to make our character jump. This is actually pretty quick. We basically need to say on jump, button pressed. So on up button pressed when the up button on the controller is pressed. What is going to happen? We basically need to say set jump to true. So we're going to make a little condition here, a little variable. So I'll just read through this because in case there's anything important. So now let's program our up button to make our sprite jump. At the moment, we are forever setting the velocity to 50, minus 50, I think it was, which is acting like gravity and making our sprite fall down until it touches the ground. To make our sprite jump, we will set the velocity to minus 50 for a short amount of time to make our sprite jump back up. That sounds very fancy, but basically we need 2 bits of code. We need to create a variable, call it jump. And we need to say on the A button pressed, what is going to happen? So we're going to set jump. So basically set jump is from the variables to, and we need to find a way to say this true. Now we can't write it in. You can't write true here. It's not going to work for you. So we need to find a way to put true in there. And a way to do that is in logic and a little bit down. They have options. So we can drop it in from that way. Now, what does that mean? Right now, it means nothing. We need to say pause for a certain amount of time. So pause in loops, pause for, I think 750 seconds is what we said. Now you can always edit that afterwards. You can, maybe your game needs a longer jump or a shorter jump. But right now, just go with 750 and see what it looks like. And then after that, so I'm actually going to duplicate this first bit of code. So it says jump to false. So right now, if you actually click on the game, nothing happens at all because I haven't said what jump is. So we need to have a look at this other piece of code. So this piece of code that we had at the very start, this jump block or forever block, we're going to grab another one of those in loops. And we're going to get a if and then block, which is in my logic. Is it if then else? It is an if then else. If then else. So forever. If then and else. If jump equals true. So that's going to be in maths. We're going to look for the equal sign. Or actually, is there one in logic? There is one in logic we can grab instead. So if something equals something. So we're going to say if, or the variables, jump equals, and then where we got it before in logic, true. The same idea, if jump equals true, what happens? We're going to say set my sprite vy, velocity y, to minus 50. So let's get that in. Now, remember, my sprite's not called my sprite, it's called Barrio. Spread my vy to minus 50. So that'll make my sprite jump. And if it's not true, if jump is false, we just say set, and we basically put in the opposite, set vy to 50. And then hopefully this is working now. We can check it. Yeah, it's a good jump. Let me just check this on the keyboard. And now you can have a good go at finishing your game. The only thing is I can do it while I can just hold, I can spam it and just float to the end. And I've broken the game. And there, got all the way to the end. And also my lab is not going to kill me. So there's another thing I have to do. My to-do list is getting pretty long. So right now you can kind of spam it. It's not perfect yet. Yeah, so try to get that. Try and go all the way to the end of the map. You should be able to, because you can cheat, basically. I don't know if it's cheating, but you can definitely take a shortcut. Okay. So our next step, guys, is that we need to make it so we can't cheat. Make it so. See you, real gamer. Have a good night. I'll see you next week. You may have noticed that you can keep pressing the up button and jump over and over again, even when you're in the air. So you should only be able to jump when you're touching the ground. So obviously enough. You should be able to just float forever and ever and ever. So change the up button pressed code to the following. So we need an if and then block to surround. So right now it's here. We're basically going to add a little condition to it. We're going to say if, and then all the other parts go inside of it. And basically we need to say if my sprite is hitting wall bottom, then. So that's actually a good bit of code. And it is in Cyan, actually. It's actually miles down. That's actually quite a hard one to find. So you need to say if, and then change it to your sprite, is hitting wall and then bottom. So obviously, it doesn't matter which way it's facing. If your sprite is hitting wall bottom, then it works. So now you can check it again. Check to see you can't double jump anymore. It's just a single jump. Now you should have a bit more of an interesting game. Now mine, I actually think I made too easy. Yeah, I can kind of jump the whole way through mine. So what I might do actually to make my game more difficult is actually reduce the amount of jump I'm able to do. So by changing that amount in the pause. And just test it out and see what happens. Oh, that's very hard. Oh, actually, I don't know if I think I might need a bit more. No, I'll need a slight bit more. I wonder if I can go 600 and will that make a difference? 600 ms. And just play around with it, guys. See what works for you. What works for my game might be different from what works for you. I think I need 700 at least to get up over that. Oh yeah, 700 works for me. Because I think the 750 was giving me too much. Boom. It's giving me too much freedom. So then you should be able to jump only when you're touching the ground. Wolfman, I hope you got your sprite finished now at this stage. Be a long time. It will be a masterpiece of a sprite if we're still working on it. Basically, my next step, guys, I need to make the danger tiles actually dangerous. That's going to be a pretty easy one. It's just in the scene. And it's on sprite of kind player overlaps. And you can pick any of the ones from the game. Lava at location. You don't need to put a location there. You can just say, location can just be location. What happens when the sprite of kind player overlaps with lava? Game over, lose. So you're going to say game over. Where can we get an interesting one? Hughes effect. I think they've changed it actually from what we had in Decoding Ireland. Melt is good on. Game over, melt for lose. And just double check what that looks like in practice. Let me check. Make sure it is game over. Oh, I need to say it was game over. Oh yeah, we get all the melting kind of image across the screen. That's pretty cool. So test that out and see what happens. You can do a splatter effect. You can change the effect around. It doesn't really matter. I'm using lava, so I'm going with the melty one, but you can do whatever one really kind of suits you. If you have a particular ending for the game that would maybe suit the whatever suits you. So now try to get through the game again, but now there's jeopardy. There's trouble if you go wrong. Hooray. And obviously one of my next steps is going to be what happens if I overlap the treasure. Because right now nothing happens. But if I overlap the fire. And basically, yeah, we need to say, basically this whole piece again. I'm actually going to duplicate this to save myself a bit of time. I'm going to say on sprite player overlaps treasure chest. And we're going to say change that to win. And I'm going to use an effect. Smiles? I don't know what that is. Let me see. We just get to the end of my game. Easier said than done. I should definitely need to space these out a bit more. Perfect. I win. So now game time. You can develop the whole new thing. So what I'm going to do, just because I am finished, go back to your tile map and actually I'm going to delete things. Because we have a lot of steps or a lot of parts here that are too easy actually. So by shortening the platforms, you're definitely making it harder. So I'll try mine again. Hopefully it'll be more difficult. You still kind of move in the air, which is not very Mario-ish, but all things considered, you still have a lot of fun with that. You still get to the end of it. You actually go back and make it harder again. For me, anyway. Or you could be really mean and just give people one to land on. But make it your own. Let's try it again. Oh. It does take a second for the gravity to kick in. yes. And it's a bit of fun there. So the thing about MakeCode Arcade is because it's all imports games, you can make really cool stuff pretty easily. Now, what you can do, if you really want to do, is you could create a second tile map. And you could say what happens if you reach the treasure chests, which happens in Mario, is you don't just win the whole game, but you just go on to level 2. So what you could do is say, if you reach the treasure chest, go into tile map, call it level 2, and create another tile map. This time it could be way more difficult. This time it could be underwater level. What did we do this? I think it was, oh no, this one was 64. This one was only 12, I think. And this time I'm going to go for a way more difficult level. This one's a forest level. So there's try and make it more difficult, obviously. No one wants to play a game that's super easy. People like the challenge. And I'm still gonna add lava just to save myself a bit of work. And remember, guys, make walls. All the places you can stand are walls. And fire is still the fire. So now it's all fire on the ground. And there's going to be a different treasure chest. Or this time it's going to be a red orb at the end. That is going to be the access to level 3. Let me just check that out. Now, the only thing about it is I need to go to level... I need to beat level 1 to get to level 2. So if you make a lot of levels, you have to go through the whole game just to test out for any bugs. Or you could set the first tile map to whatever. It's just in your code. So there's level 1. Oh, I've just appeared at the start of the game. So maybe say, if you touch this, set sprite position to... what's the sprite position going to be? We don't want to say 0, 0. We want to say like bottom left. So let me just get to the end of the first level again. Check that out. I'm getting seriously lucky. Yeah, and then you start at the start of the next level. That's actually really cool. Game over, and you're all the way back to the very start. So it's tricky. But that's how you make your game go forever and ever. If you make... So this is what I'm doing for the next part. So once we've reached the chest, it's not just game win. It goes to game set time map 2, and I've created a new time map. And then you have to set your position to the bottom left-hand side of the screen. So it does add a little bit more to the game. It's a bit more interesting than just ending in one level. And it lets you kind of get harder and harder and harder as the game goes on. You could also add bad guys to the game. Now, it's a lot more work to do that. You've got to create a sprite. You know, like Mario has those guys, the flowers that bite you. So you could do that. But it is more difficult. So I'm going to share mine into the chat, guys. You can play mine if you want. I'll copy this link and paste it into the chat. And if anyone wants to have a go at my game, you're more than welcome to. If anyone wants to share their game, please do. I'm not going to move on. I'm not going to go on to the quiz or anything for another 5 minutes because I want to give you guys a chance to finish everything off. And I'd love to have a go at your games if you would like to show them to me. So just for 2 or 3 minutes, just while you're working on your projects, don't mind me. I'll only slow you down. And let me know if you have any questions or any games you want me to play. Okay. Christmas season here, lads. We must get some festive lessons in next week. I can play the game you made a while ago. I hope this is a platformer now. Has to be on theme. Five Nights at Martin's. This looks like it's going to be pretty full on. I feel like the amount of time it's taking to load is pretty worrying. Oh my god! Even the this is very impressive. That's incredible. Even here. That's so cool. Very Five Nights at Freddy's. I feel like I'm gonna have to commit more time to that, Master Colin. I feel like it's gonna be that's gonna be a whole night playing a game. I maybe won't hold. I'm gonna hold off Master Colin just if it's real people. I just don't want to be showing real people on the live stream. It's maybe not what we're looking for with the names and faces and stuff like that. It looks incredible though. I'm amazed at how much work you did. To be fair, that is incredible. Well done on a scratch game. Like I've never seen a scratch game that intricate. And what I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm gonna open up a Bluekit. I'm gonna set it up to do tower defense. Please join if you want. There's no pressure to join. I'll do a version of it on the screen. It is winter holiday trivia. I think there's only 15 questions, so they will repeat a lot. And we might do 8 minutes of it. So if you want to join our Bluekit, guys, it's 540318. 540318. So I might just join myself. Join again. And that code again, it is 540318. And you enter your nickname. Keep it something like your name, if you wouldn't mind. And I am the only candidate. Someone in the other week that had like an account. Buffster is in. Master Column, if you want to join, you got to do so in the next few minutes, next few seconds, because we got to get started soon. I gotta start in 1 minute, Master Column. If you are joining in with us, or if anyone else who's on the stream is joining with us, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, I will click play and we'll have a look. But when you do have time to, you probably finish this off. I'll just have a look at your game, both man, because I'm interested. Oh, that is a deadly Mario sprite. That's so cool. You even got characters. What? Oh my god, that's tricky enough. Can I land on top of him? Okay, fair enough. You even got these blocks. That is class. I love that. That's so cool. That is wow. Nearly a 1-to-1 replication, I don't think. That is brilliant. I love that. That is so cool, Master. Both man, that is one of my favorites. One of the best adaptations I've ever seen of a non-licensed game that Nintendo can't sue you for. I'll hang on, Master Colin, 1 more minute. I think you can join late in this. Oh, there you are. I'll start us up. So we're all working on our different trails. I'm going to go here. And they're all festive kind of questions. Who sings All I Want for Christmas Is You? I'm pretty sure that's Mariah Carey. What is Scrooge's first name? Ebenezer Scrooge. At what temperature in Fahrenheit does water start to freeze? I have no idea the Fahrenheit. In Celsius, it's 0 degrees. In Fahrenheit, 10 degrees? Oh, 32 degrees. All right, I'll remember for next time. How many days is Hanukkah celebrated for? 8 days of Hanukkah? Yes. I like the dragon. I think he's my favorite. And I might give him an upgrade. Check out that leaderboard, see who's winning. Oh, no surprise there. The castle. Oh, both man, that's unreal. So impressed by that. Oh. How do I say Merry Christmas in Spanish? Feliz Navidad. Oh god, I've never been skiing. I've heard of Black Diamond. Green Circle? Oh. Who wrote the book How the Grinch Stole Christmas? That was Dr. Seuss. Add another dragon into the mix. 3 annoying ducks to fill up space in my port. Great. It's Buddy the Elf. Ah, 2, 3 French hens. Don't forget to upgrade your guys that you have rather than just buying new people all the time. Often the upgrades can go quicker or are more. Now remember, guys, we're all just preparing for the big bad guy at the end. That's the real game here. Sweet. Santa Claus lives in the North Pole. Hmm. Piggy power. -32 degrees Celsius. Now we know. And we are down to last 4 minutes, guys. Sugar. Get a little help, random tower. You don't often get a little help. We'll take it. You gotta fly through the rounds because the big guys at the end do all the damage. Hot chocolate. Oh no. Please don't be one of the good ones. Buddy the Elf. He's no dad. Dr. Seuss. Oh, it was a dragon. That's really annoying. You spend all that money again. Let's save up for this king down here. He looks pretty good. Looks pretty powerful. I don't think I've ever seen him. Uh-oh. Make sure you get your gold upgrades in now. Let's see how you get on. You've got a big boy coming your way. Oh, I've just never seen anyone kill him. He is just, I think he's unbeatable. And the final results. Okay, guys, we are going to leave it there for tonight. It's going to be a bit spotty with attendance now over the next few weeks because obviously people have a lot of things on over Christmas, which is very understandable. So tune in if you can. If you can't, don't worry about it too much. Catch up afterwards. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm so impressed with those games I saw today. You bet him once. I believe when I see it, both man. I've never seen him in person. Master Column, have a good week. You've only got 2.5 weeks left of school. 2 weeks and 2 days. You're nearly there. You're on the downslope. Have a great week, guys. I'll see you next one.